Some of history's greatest acts of courage, they don't come from kings or generals. They come from the most unexpected people, the ones on the margins who, in a single moment, decide to do the right thing when nobody else will. So let's dive into one of those stories, a really powerful one. No, I mean really stuck. You know that feeling, right? Where you're just helpless, sinking, maybe even feeling like you've been forgotten by everyone. It's a feeling we've all had. And believe it or not, that exact feeling is at the very heart of this incredible story we're about to get into. Okay, so picture this. Ancient Jerusalem. The city is literally on the brink of total collapse. Famines everywhere, fear is just thick in the air, and right in the middle of all this chaos, a man is sentenced to die. And his crime? It wasn't murder, it wasn't theft, it was just speaking the truth when nobody wanted to hear it. All right, so this brings us to our first section, a prophet in a pit. This is all about the real cost of speaking an unpopular truth. And the man at the center of this, his name is Jeremiah. He's a prophet, and he's got this message from God that, let's just say, is not going to win him any popularity contests. The price he's about to pay, it's going to be steep. So let's really break down his predicament. Jeremiah's message was actually pretty simple. Hey guys, we're a mess, the whole system is corrupt, and Babylon is going to roll right over us if we don't change our ways. He was begging them to repent. But, well, the people in charge, they didn't want truth. They wanted to feel good. They had all these other so-called prophets telling them comforting lies, everything's fine, don't worry. So what do they do with Jeremiah for daring to burst their bubble? They literally toss him into this deep, muddy pit, a cistern, and just leave him there to starve. He's sinking in mud, completely abandoned. So while Jeremiah is literally dying in a hole, what are the powerful people doing? The ones who put him there, the officials, the princes? Absolutely nothing. They created this whole mess and just walked away. But someone was watching, and you'll never guess who it was. And this just lays out the contrast so perfectly. On one side, you've got the officials of Judah. These are the insiders, right? The powerful, connected guys. And what do? They're afraid, so they stay silent. But then you've got this guy, Ebed-melech. He's an Ethiopian. He's a foreigner, a servant in the palace. He has zero status, zero power, and honestly, every single reason to just keep his head down. But he's the one who sees what's happening and decides, nope, I'm going to be the solution. And this is so key. Ebed-melech didn't just feel sorry for Jeremiah. He didn't just, send his thoughts and prayers from a distance. He got it. He knew that real compassion isn't a feeling, it's an action. So he starts putting a plan together, step by courageous step. Okay, let's look at the anatomy of this rescue, because it's amazing. First, he goes directly to the king. Think about that. A servant going to the king to call out the king's top guys. That's a huge risk. He doesn't get political. He just appeals to the king's humanity, saying, hey, this is a wicked thing to do. The man's going to starve. And it works. The king gives him 30 men to help. And then, and this is the best part, he carries out the rescue with just so much care. And it all comes down to this one small detail, this one quote. Think about it. He could have just chucked a rope down there and said, good luck. Pull him out. Job done. But he didn't. He actually goes and finds old rags, padding, and tells Jeremiah to put them under his arms so the ropes won't tear up his skin. Wow. That's not just a rescue. That's about restoring someone's dignity when they have absolutely none left. So, okay, this isn't just some dusty old story, right? What Ebed-melech did is absolutely packed with these powerful, life-changing lessons that, they're just as relevant for us right now as they were back then. All right, so takeaway number 1. This one is huge. It's really about who gets to be a hero in the first place. Look, Ebed-melech was a total outsider, a foreigner, a servant. He checked none of the boxes for important person. He could have easily said, not my problem, or who am I to step up? But here's the thing. Your background, your resume, your social status, none of that matters. What matters is a willing heart. Your availability is so much more important than your ability. Okay, number 2. This one moves from who can act to how we should act. It's all about putting your money where your mouth is. Real compassion gets its hands dirty. It's so easy to feel bad for someone from way over here, right? It doesn't cost us anything. But Ebed-melech, he shows us that real compassion shows up. It's inconvenient, it takes effort, it's not afraid to get into the mud with someone, it's not a feeling, it's a verb.
All right, lesson number 3. This one goes a little deeper. It's not just about what you do, but the heart behind it.
And yeah, we're going right back to those rags. That tiny detail, it tells you everything you need to know about Ebed-melech's character. See, it's not just that he rescued him, it's how he did it. Your true character, it comes out in how you treat people who are at rock bottom, people who have absolutely nothing to offer you back.
Number 4. This one's about, well, it's about the crowd. It's about what happens when everybody else decides to look the other way.
I mean, really think about it for a second. The officials, the priests, just the regular people on the street, they all knew Jeremiah was down there, and every single one of them chose silence. They just looked away. Sometimes that's going to be your choice, plain and simple. Are you going to be part of the silent crowd, or are you going to be the one person who finally does something? And finally, number 5. This is about the ripple effect, the incredible, unseen consequences of one single moment of courage.
Let's be real. If Ebed-melech had just kept his mouth shut, Jeremiah would have died in that pit. That's it. We would have lost all the rest of his prophecies. His massive impact on history would have just vanished. You just never know what is hanging in the balance when you decide to act. Your one moment of courage could literally save someone's destiny and change things in ways you can't even imagine.
Okay, so we've heard the story. We've gone through the lessons. Now the question isn't about Ebed-melech anymore. It's about you. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? He wasn't powerful, he was available. That's the whole thing, right there. He didn't have power or influence. He just made himself available when the moment came. So I have to ask you, who in your world is in a pit right now? Who's sinking? Maybe it's a friend who's just spiraling, a coworker getting a raw deal, a family member that everyone else has kind of written off. They're down there, and they're waiting. So please, don't wait around for someone more qualified or more important to do something. That little nudge you feel in your heart, the one telling you to reach out, to say something, to help, that's it. That's the call. Because sometimes you are the answer to someone else's prayer. You might just be the Ebed-melech they've been hoping for.